Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be testing out the new Morphe Makin Bank 18B palette. I saw this had released, I thought it was so beautiful, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. So here is the color story. There's some really beautiful grungy greens, a little bit of brighter greens, there's a pop of bright yellow, and some really interesting shimmers. I love this kind of minty tone, kind of reminds me of one of the shades in the Smoke Sessions palette from Melt. And then this shade right here kind of reminds me of Natasha Denona Lime Chrome, just looking at it in the pan, because it's kind of that like pinky base with like a really electric green shift. Whenever I first saw this shade in person, I definitely gasped. I was so excited. Gasped. The P is very, very important in this moment. I gasped. Because I thought it was so close to Lime Chrome, and I'm really hoping it's a great shade and a good formula. But today's video is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to go ahead and swatch out all the shades on my arm so we can see how they swatch, how they all look together, and then I'm going to go ahead and do an eye look, and then at the end I'll kind of give you my thoughts on the palette so far. Really quickly, I'll just tell you about the palette. It does have 18 shades, hence the name 18B, and it retails for $18. I bought it off of the Morphe website. I'm not sure if it is going to be on Ulta or not yet, and you can use a code to save money off. I just use Honey, and that automatically applies coupon codes, and then I'll get the best deal. Not sponsored or anything, but I ended up saving $5 off, which basically paid for shipping, so I really love Honey. It's an online shopper's best friend, honestly. I wish they would sponsor me because I'm obsessed with them. But this palette has a total net weight of 20.6 grams or 0.72 ounces. And then just to bring it to y'all's attention, because I was creeping on the box, and it is considered an artistry palette, so they have some eyeshadows listed as eyeshadows and some as pressed pigments, which means that they'll probably leave staining, and they're not FDA approved in America for use around the eyes. But I never really have a problem with it, but I just want to mention in case you do have sensitive eyes, the shades Check Please, Jackpot, Solid Gold, and Dala Dala, those ones are all considered pressed pigments. So the names are obviously not on the palette, which isn't my favorite, but it does have a nice little mirror, which you can see how messy my desk is in front of me. But I do appreciate the size of the palette. I feel like it's pretty sleek and small, and I would travel with this. I think it's a really, really good size. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and swatch. All right, so starting off, we have Deposits, Check Please, and Cash or Card, which are all some pretty basic matte shades. There's like a really like kind of ivory matte, a little bit more of a tan, and then more of a warm brown. All right, next we have Make It Rain, which is a really beautiful shimmer shade. It does feel more like a satin. It doesn't feel super metallic, but all the shades so far have felt pretty soft. Then we have Chi-Ching, which literally I was just listening to that song by Shania Twain the other day. That used to be like my favorite. I don't know why. I was obsessed with that as a kid. And then C Note, which is, oh my gosh, the pigment. I barely put my finger in there. That shade though. All right, next we have Solid Gold, which is just a pretty true gold. Swatched pretty nicely. Then we have Jackpot, which is bright matte yellow. Again, pretty pigmented. And then we have Price Tag. Why are all of these making me want to sing? Okay, next we have Shopaholic. Ooh, that's super, super smooth, which is kind of just a pretty taupe, but it almost has just like the tiniest bit of like a green iridescence to it. I don't know if I'm crazy, if you guys can see that. And then we've got Dala Dala, which again is super pigmented, and Luxe Bucks, which is a metallic kind of green. I mean, more of a satin. All right, next we have the shade Bazillionaire, which is probably the one I'm most excited about. Ooh. You guys. Color-wise, and it's super shiny. Reminds me a lot of Natasha Denona Lime Chrome. I can't say it's going to be the exact same formula wise, because I think Lime Chrome's a little bit more sparkly, but it's pretty close. And then we've got Piggy Bank, which is a really pretty copper. And then Rake It In. Ooh. Kind of like a deep brown with almost a little bit of like a dirty oliveness to it. Oops, I would mess that up. All right, last but not least, we have Stacks, which is another really beautiful grungy green, and that was one swipe pigment. Really nice. That's Rich, which kind of looks like a duochrome. It's kind of like that blue brown type duochrome, but very subtle. It's just a sheen. And then Got Paid, which looks to be, I don't think it's a black. I think it's a really, really dark green. I'm really liking the mattes in here, the way that they look. They're very pigmented, and I just like the color selection. Yeah, that's a deep, deep green. All right, color me impressed. I think that it looks really, really nice so far. There's definitely a lot of variety here. I feel like you could go super neutral, or you could go super grungy green. You could even pull it warm, and I really like the shimmer options. I think you could, again, you could go super colorful, and I'm impressed so far. I'm impressed. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off all these swatches. Oh, wait, no. First, I'm going to show them to you up close, and then we'll go ahead and do an eye look. So there is what it looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and ditch the little name sheet just because I think it's annoying, and I'm going to point at the shades, which is better because even if you don't own this palette and you're just trying to recreate a look from your own collection, you can just see the colors and know what I'm using. So I think I'm definitely going to do a full green look. I also already primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with this yellow shade right here. There's definitely some kickback in the pan. The shadows are pretty soft, but I'm just going to go ahead and start that off as my transition shade. Just blending upwards. Alright, so I'm not building that up too much. I just want it to be a good little transition, but definitely a pigmented shadow that blended easily for me. So I'm going to go ahead now and take this grungy green right here, and I'm going to start that off in my crease. I literally just picked up a tiny little bit, but again, there's definitely kickback in the pan. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw that into my entire crease and then just blend. Alright, so it took a little moment to blend, but it did blend out pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and take a touch more of that yellow and just pop it over just because I don't want to lose that just a little touch. I'm like barely even touching my brush to my skin, but just wanted to add a little bit more. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this green matte, taking it just a touch lower, just again directly into my crease, just deepening it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out. Probably just going to go back and forth between that brush and my previous one. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the deepest shade, and I'm going to pop that onto my outer V. Look how pigmented that is. Then just kind of blending it in a little bit. I think I'm actually going to do a half cut crease today. I have not done a cut crease in so long, it's not even funny. I'm a little bit nervous. And just going with that previous brush and just blending out the edge. Alright, for my lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and start off with that deep green. I'm not going to bring it in super far, but I'm just going to use a little bit of that to connect it with what's happening on the lid. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here called Dala Dala. That bright green. And I'm going to pop it onto, whoop, that's pigmented, the middle, goodness gracious, the middle of my lower lash line. Alright, I've got one more color I want to pop down there, but I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease first. I'm going to go ahead and take the NBA Cosmetics Glitter Foil and Liner FX and try using this for a cut crease. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade right here, and I'm going to pop that onto the very inner part. Ooh. I can't believe that this is a lime chrome dupe. I was not expecting that at all, but it is so beautiful. Just going to bring that about halfway in. And I'm going to go ahead and take some of this green right here, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer part of the cut crease. Just kind of blending in between that really beautiful lighter shade and the matte shade that's on the outer V. Alright, so I think I'm going to go back into some more of that deep, deep green on just a tiny, tiny little fluffy brush. And I'm just going to pop that over the outer V just to kind of blend it in and add some extra dimension since it got covered up just a little bit. I really, really love this look so far. Alright, let's go ahead and jump back into the lower lash line. I'm going to take this light kind of minty blue here. Kind of want to spray it just to make it extra intense. And I'm going to pop that right here. So my one gripe with this palette is that there is no inner corner shade unless you wanted to use that shade on your inner corner, which could be fun if you were doing a deeper look, or you could maybe use this shade on your inner corner. I wish that this lightest matte shade had been a shimmer, but I'm just going to go ahead and use Lunar Beauty Mercury Moon Prism Powder, which looks like this. It's kind of like a light kind of white gold, and I'm going to pop that on my inner corner. I'm just looking now and it's pretty crazy because I have almost no fallout. I think that somewhere along the line I just like dusted away like one little drop of green that had fallen. But overall, really impressed. So really quickly off camera, I'm going to go ahead and pop the Modster Ardensian liner in the shade Jade in my waterline. I think it'll kind of match the vibes. And then I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, so for highlighter today, I picked up two shades from Nabla Cosmetics Skin Glazing Highlighter line. I've been wanting to try Nabla for the longest time. They're on Ulta now. I had a gift card, so I went ahead and picked up two shades when they finally went back in stock. I had the notifications on for a hot minute, but I have the shade Ozone, which I believe is the lightest shade, and it's kind of a gold, really, really beautiful tone. And then this one is called Privilege, and it's kind of a peachy shade. I don't know if it's going to end up being too dark for me. I might have to use that more as a blush topper, but I'm really excited to try them out. And well, it's actually not a spoiler, because before you see this video, there should be a video already up on my channel. I need tweezers because my nails are weak. I have scissors, even better. There should be a video up on my channel of all the brands I wanted to try this year and whether I did or not. And Nabla Cosmetics is on that list, so I'm about to film that, and I may as well try Nabla before I film it, right? So this is the shade. Oh man, my nails. Oh my gosh. I feel so ridiculous. The color is definitely different whenever you take off the packaging because it's such a pink tone. It went true gold. So maybe these will work for me. Alright, so here's Ozone. Looks really pretty. I feel like it would go with today's look pretty well. And then here's what Privilege looks like. Might be borderline. I don't know. It's about the same shade as my skin tone, but it has like just the prettiest kind of peach undertone to it. It's right there. I don't think it's too dark for me. I think it'll be a really natural shade. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and try Ozone today just because I think that the gold will go a little bit better with this look. So, I mean, I think it looks really pretty. It adds like a nice glow to the skin. I feel like it is emphasizing texture just a little bit, but I really like the color, so definitely something I'll keep using and testing out. I feel like highlighter is definitely something you have to let sit on your skin and see how it wears throughout the day before you can fully give your opinion. So for lips, Alright, for lips, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take my Ofra lip gloss in the shade Natural, which I did receive through Octoly. Yeah, so this is the finished look, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I think that the eye look is so, so pretty, and I'm so impressed by the quality of this palette. I feel like the color scheme overall is probably one of my favorite green palettes that I've seen. The only thing for me that it's really missing is a really beautiful inner corner highlight. Like I said, if this shade or this shade was an inner corner shade, then this would probably be like my perfect green palette. I absolutely love the colors. I love that there's a pop of yellow. I love the different warm tones. The fact that it has a lime chrome dupe, the different grungy greens, like the variety of matte shades here, I absolutely love so much. For me, this very closely resembles a palette that I did that was like my perfect grunge palette. This look, actually, I probably could have done with my perfect grunge palette and the colors that I chose. So I just really like this curation. It makes me super happy, and the fact that it's $18, I'm really, really impressed. I'm going to keep using it, and I really want to film either 3 looks or 5 looks with it. Hopefully in the next week or so I can try and get that done. Before I let you go, let's just go ahead and swatch out this shade really quick so you can see. So there's Morphe. So there's the 2 shades next to each other. Seeing them side by side, I mean, Natasha Nona is a little bit more intense and the shift is a little bit more obvious, but super, super close. So here's Natasha Nona. You can see the shift. So overall, I do really like the palette, and I definitely think it's worth $18. I try not to jump the gun and say sentences or verbiage like that in a first impression because I like to get to know palettes better before I say something that's like, yes, you should buy it. But I feel like it's $18. It's relatively affordable. There's 18 shades, which makes each shadow $1 each. I really love the shade selection, and I found it was pretty easy to work with. I had no problems blending. The mattes were super pigmented. I used the one shimmer wet. I used the other over a glitter glue, so that could have impacted it. When I swatched them, they did feel just more like a sheen, so you can kind of amp them up if you would like, but either way, I'm really happy with it, and I'm super excited to dig into this palette more. So I'd love to know what you thought about this palette, if you're going to be purchasing it, or if you decided to pass on it, because I'm very, very happy with my decision to buy it. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.